Well. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I've been seeing millions of memes on this series, Kagurabachi. This came out not too long ago. It's only 4 issues in. He solos Goku, all that shit was coming around, but people seem to genuinely love it. It's hard to sometimes see past memes and understand it's something good, so I decided to check it out. And memes aside, this series is a fucking bop. If you have not subscribed yet, smash the like button. We try to run the likes up as much as we can and comment as much as we can to help the channel grow. We're like 4 subs away from 23k at the time of this video, so it'd be amazing if you join Goon Nation. And we are going to review the first 4 issues from this manga or chapters. Sorry, I'm a comic guy. If you guys enjoy this, we are literally going to keep up with this series since we have a chance to grow with it. So if you guys love this series and you actually want to see more content on it, smash the like button and let your voices be heard in the comments down below. But without further ado, let's hop into the review of what we know so far. So when we first get into chapter 1, I'm going to tell you guys I'm giving nicknames to the main characters, because if you don't know, I'm pretty shitty at pronouncing names. We're calling the main character, who starts off in the series real young, he's about 15 at this time. His name is Big Chi, okay? When you hear me say Big Chi, that's the main character. Now his dad, Big Roku, is one of the greatest blacksmiths to ever live in his verse. In fact, many consider him the GOAT. And while he's a bit weird, he's a bit quirky, you know, with how he acts and the different mannerisms he has and the different stuff he talks about, his son, Big Chi, still appreciates how real his father is. Like, despite how different he is to some people and he might be weird to some, he understands, like, his dad's a master of his craft. He's a legit good person. While he might have some weird stuff about him, overall, he's the GOAT. Like, he's as good of a dude as they come. And watching them interact is pretty cool, because we get the sense of, you know, even though he's kind of shy about telling his dad how much he looks up to him, he really does. He genuinely wants to be as good as his dad at what he does. This then kind of switches over to us seeing the Yakuza. And this is where we get the first sense of supernatural touch within the series. We see they are taking over the town, and they are using extreme methods. This includes sorcery. That's right, sorcery is within this verse. Right off the bat, we know we're going to have some fun with this one. We got some mystic shit going on. They do shit like turning people into trees, teleporting. We can see they are a big deal, and they are no joke. That is when a 38-month time skip appears. Remember, I told you he was about 15 at the time that we're looking back on this. The son, Big Chi, he now bears a scar, and he's carrying one of his daddy's swords, right? Real shit. He's on demon time now. We aren't told why at first. We are going to see in this video why, but we aren't told at first. We just know some fuck shit happened. And his buddy Shiba, who was hanging out with him and his dad, and he's a sorcerer, he's like, yo, why don't you just get rid of the scar if you have the means to? And he says, every time I see this fucking scar, it reminds me of what happens, and I wake up every day a hater. I'm gonna spin the block on all of the Yakuza. So we already know, off rip, the Yakuza did some bullshit. And he's slashing necks. He's not a kid. He's not a kid no more. He's running around fucking these people up. He's about 18 at this time. And he is destroying, I'm talking about massacring them. And when he walks up in that bitch, running down on the Yakuza, it gets crazy. He bears one of the swords of the war, because this was an event in which his dad became prominent because of the war. Why? His dad forged some of the greatest swords to ever exist, and they were the reason the tides of battle shifted. They're literally that insane. Why are they that insane? Well, his dad was not just a regular blacksmith. He was able to infuse sorcery into blades and made mystic katanas. And when he pulls up on the Yakuza, he says, I'm sorry, I can't leave any of you bums. I just can't leave y'all alone. Like, I gotta get rid of all of you. And they're like, what the fuck was going on? And he said, you've seen me wield my sword? I can't let you live, bitch. Start spinning on them. This guy is a real life goon. Like, I'm telling you, if you enjoy a main character that gets busy, he doesn't have too much time for the rap shit, he just starts shooting, Big Chi is the man for you. This dude is on some goat shit. They say he's an absolute madman, despite how he's fucking them up. We literally see him butcher them, like cutting down entire rows of Yakuza. They tell him, like, dude, you are insane for chasing down sorcerers. Sorcerers are some of the craziest fuckers in the verse. Like, trying to fuck with them is wild. He says, all of you, every single one, no matter how fucking tough you think they are, all of you will die by my blade. And that's how issue 1 ends. Fucking heat, right? So we see chapter 2 start off showing us another aspect to sorcery, essentially. What I mean by that is, during an interrogation in which Big Chi is trying to get info out of the Yakuza about where the fuck his swords have gone, like where are the other swords his father forged, he sees necromancy set in. Necromancy is confirmed a big aspect of sorcery within this verse, and the guy, when he goes to start talking, is immediately turned into this necromancy monster. Now, at first, you're like, oh shit, this thing's huge, we've never seen Big Chi interact with it, doesn't fucking matter. Hero puts this bitch-ass monster in a blender. I'm talking about folds his ass. His friend Shiba is amazed. He said he's been around in a combat sense in regards to Big Chi. He's only been around for about 3 years. He's only been scrapping for just 3 years. Yet, he is running down on monsters and Yakuza and sorcerers alike with his demon blade and does not give a fuck. Like, he has not been stopped so far. She was like, yo, real shit. This kid's a natural with how he cooks his ops. We then get the flashback. What occurred, right? What is it that made Big Chi take this violent stance? Well, 3 powerful necromancers broke the barrier around his house. So where his dad, Big Roku, and Big Chi lived, they had a mystic barrier around the place to kind of hide where it was. And the necromancers pulled up, bypassed the barrier, and ran down on his dad. They left him heavily scarred, and they left his father dead. They then took the 6 demon swords his father had created pre-war. Like I said, these were swords that literally shifted the tide of the war. And we know the war involved magic and mysticism and necromancy. So at that point, we know these swords go hard in the fucking paint. Like, well, I could, it's fucked up what they did, but I understand why they ran down on his dad. Like, he has some of the strongest weapons in the verse in his literal basement. So they put his dad on a t-shirt. They left him scarred. And there is this theme of goldfish, right? His dad thought they were good luck. They were amazing little creatures. And it broke his heart seeing his dad go out like this. Having the goldfish there that were supposed to be good luck. He then vows, after this insane loss of innocence, that every single person connected to what happened to his father is getting put on a fucking t-shirt. He said, I will kill them all. There is no questions about it. They're getting put on a t-shirt. And while they have the 6 swords, like I said, they broke the boxes and took the 6 swords. There's another sword, another mystic katana. His father and he forged another one, forged the 7th sword that his son was now wielding. Indeed, there is a 7th, and we are going to see how broken that sword is within the next couple chapters, as this brings an end to chapter 2. Now, chapter 3 starts off with an elaboration of the hunt he's undergoing. Not only is he tracking regular Yakuza, but he is literally trying to find these 6 swords. And that is where we get evidence of one of the mystic katanas being in play. There is a little girl who has gone to a shop that is friends with Shiba and Big Chi. And there's a little girl that says she saw the mystic katana. They don't believe her at first. They're like, this little orphan girl might be capping just to get food. But Big Chi is like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna help this little kid out and see if this kid actually knows what the fuck she's talking about. Well, he takes a little kid, they go to eat, and he soon realizes this kid did indeed witness a mystic katana, and she said she saw one of the blades produce a cloud, which is simply too specific for Big Chi to believe she had made it up. Now, while they are dining, a commotion breaks out behind them, right? And we see a creepy guy has walked in, just put a random guy on a t-shirt. He's then like, yo, I'm here for the girl, but since you're here too, I'll fuck you up too. And he sets off a massive sorcery explosive meant to put Big Chi on a t-shirt. However, despite being caught off guard, Chi gets away with this, or gets away from it rather, and spins back. And when he does, he sees this sorcerer holding the girl by a rope, and he says, yo, you're not going to be able to save her. I don't know why the fuck you're trying. And that's when we see Chi square up and say, okay, I'm not playing around with this guy. Clearly, he's trying to fuck this kid up. Let me get him out of here real quick. Proceeds to square up Mystic Katana versus Sorcery. As we enter Chapter 4, we get our first Sorcerer versus Mystic Katana battle with Big Chi, right? He's straight up fighting a Sorcerer. During this scrap, he's seeing how the blade is interacting with his magic. I mean, he literally sends an extended slash. He doesn't even hit the guy or his magic with the blade. He just slashes it. And his rope he had the girl by, it's cooked, right? And the girl is freed and Sheba takes her. And the dude squared up with him and he's like, oh shit, you have one of the Mystic Katanas. You have one of the blades that literally shifted and changed the war forever. He said, I've always wanted to fight one of those. Like, I've always wanted to square up with someone using them. So I'm going to square up with you. And Chi's like, I don't give a fuck. You can square up as much as you want. It's not going to change the outcome of this battle. And we see what makes his sword special, right? There is energy within the verse, the energy of life. Everyone contains it, and it is around everyone. Well, his blade, his Mystic Katana, uses the raw life energy. It doesn't just mold it, doesn't just take it and try to form it into something, it doesn't just try to shape it. It uses the true raw life energy and is able to combat sorcery in that way. And we see him literally dodging explosives, dodging sorcery, cutting through sorcery. His Mystic Katana is no joke. And it's a good battle at first, but we know Big Chi is not going all out, as remarked by the guy. He's like, oh shit, he does have more up his sleeve than he's giving hints to, right? So he decides to trap Big Chi. He can't take it any less serious than that. He's gonna trap him, just do him dirty. Binds him up, and we see Big Chi's sword facing him, but he can't touch him. He's behind it. So the guy's like, okay, I fucking caught you. Time to cook you. This whole time the little girl in Sheba is watching, right? And she's like, oh my god, he's gonna get cooked. Look, he's binded. And Sheba goes, no. His sword is not as simple as the guy he's fighting is making it out to be. It doesn't just use the life energy. It doesn't just have a simple slash. The way his Mystic Katana reacts is it is able to actually absorb, completely interact with sorcery or magic itself, and just send it right back. It can do that. It can just say, fuck your magic, take it back, bitch. And we see the katana absorb this sorcery, this attempted murder from the sorcerer. Even when he's not looking at the guy, he reverts it back on him to blast his ass in one of the coldest manga scenes. Like, just fucking puts his ass in a blender, sits him down. And the guy had been saying, yo, you're an amateur. You're trying to get information mid-fight. You're supposed to beat someone before you interrogate them. And he's like, okay, I just beat the fuck out of you. So I guess it's time you tell me where the fucking katanas are before I kill your dumbass. And that's how issue or chapter 4 ends of Kagurabachi. Amazing chapter, by the way. I loved all 4. So we got those out of the way. Let's get into the review. The first 4 issues to me were absolutely brilliant. I love Big Chi, one of my favorite main characters from a manga I have read in a while. I put him up there with the likes of Shin and Yusuke as my favorite manga main characters. In terms of story, it's interesting. They're giving us information a piece at a time, and we're figuring it out as it goes. And I love series like that. So I am 100% down to cover this series. Obviously, there's memes going on about him being high honor and stuff like that. Solo's Goku, fucking, it's Kagurabachi time or whatever. All the memes aside, all the jokes aside, this is an amazing young series that has just started. And if you guys love my coverage of it, if you want to see me cover it completely and follow it as it progresses, let me know in the comment section down below. And let me know with the like button. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I had a ton of fun reviewing this new manga. The hype is indeed real. and I'm excited to see what y'all think of it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.